still remember your first Euro tour?
Oh yeah.
What it was like and stuff?
Oh, it was mind-blowing.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was great. We mainly played like squat type buildings or you know, smaller community center type buildings, and it was just, you know, everything was so new to us, and it was very exciting, you know, and kind of getting to learn our way around over here.
So, what was the biggest like misconception you had before you came here the first time?
The food. The food was so much better than I expected.
Really?
Yeah, you know, like I, you know, heard people sometimes complain about the food, but I found that it was. Sorry, hold on. Yeah, we're closing this room off for a minute, dude.
I'm just taking 2 beers and.
Okay.
Sorry for the
Feel, man.
Oh yeah, back to it. The food was. I found it. I love the food over here.
So how was it good today too?
Oh, it was amazing.
Because we did an interview with Buenos Aires last week, and they were here too. They played here, and they said the food sucked.
Oh really?
So got lucky today.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
Cool.
This is our 4th or 5th time now playing this area. I mean, we played in the different parts of this building, but the food's always been wonderful.
Nice.
And then everybody's been cool and nice.
Cool. Good to know. So you released Spiral Shadow in the end of October last year.
Yeah.
There was like a little buzz, I think, from what I got through the media and stuff. And did you realize any changes, like more people attending your shows, anything different?
It wasn't a huge, you know, like change, but you know, there's some new people coming around, but you know, mainly it's just cool that a lot of our fan base has come back for the next record and checked it out. And, you know, for the most part, response from our older fans has been great. And we care about that a lot. We don't want to like alienate the people that have supported us for a long time, and we like people to stick with our band. And so that was really good, because you never know with each record you put out, especially with us, because we kind of change with each record. But yeah, there's some new people coming out too. We're growing at a steady pace.
So it's going all right for you, you think?
It's been going.
It's always going bigger.
Yeah, it's never been one of these things where we just overnight all of a sudden are big.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things just step by step. We just keep growing, you know, a little each year.
Okay.
You know, people are just word of mouth works really well for us, and over time, you know, it's just word of mouth and you know, touring a lot and trying to get better as a band, you know, as we go as well, and improving on what we do and adding to what we do and giving people a reason to come back and check it out again.
So talking about your fans, how would you describe a typical Kylesa fan?
I don't think there's actually, with our fans, somebody that I could say is typical. You know, there's not a stereotype that fits. It seems like our fans come from all different kind of backgrounds. You know, like at certain shows, I'll look out and I'll see, you know, a kid with a mohawk, and then, you know, a kid that looks almost like an indie rocker, and then a straight up metalhead, you know, and you got people moving in different ways at the shows.
That's the good thing
know.
about it, I think, because you sort of combine all the different areas.
Yeah, we seem to have a pass amongst a lot of different tribes, you know, but we're not like any kind of king in one scene.
Yeah, it's weird. So as we all know, you have 2 drummers, which is kind of special. And is it sometimes like a pain in the ass when you're playing a small show? You have to set up 2 kids.
It can be a pain in the ass, yeah, but for the most part, it's not.
Okay.
We've been doing it for a few years now, so
to get used to it.
We've kind of got it down to what works, how to, you know, make it work in all types of venues. Every once in a while, we'll get that venue where it defeats us, but generally it doesn't happen.
So, and speaking of it, is it sometimes a problem to set up a good live sound? Because I figure when you have 2 drum sets, everything needs to be right.
It's always a challenge.
Yeah.
It's always a challenge. We have to really, especially when we're supporting another tour, when we're headlining, we have time to get to the show early and do a long sound check and figure out, what problems we're facing with the room. When we're supporting a band, we don't have that time. We're just thrown on stage and have to play, and that can be very difficult. You know, sometimes
so
we just don't win. Yeah, it's way better for us on a headlining tour because we can do so much more and sound so much better because we have time to pull it off.
So speaking of your sound, do you have like one record where you would say it's the perfect sounding and production
No.
sound? No, not at all.
We always feel we can do better. And we still don't feel like we've made the perfect record yet. If we ever get to that point and I'm like, I think this is perfect, I don't think we could do any better, then that's it. You know?
That's it.
No point to do it again. So I'm kind of glad we haven't made that record yet.
So any record by another band where you would say that's what I want to achieve with my band? Or do you want to go for your own trademark sound?
We definitely want our own sound, you know.
I mean, you
Be
do
our own
already
entity.
have it.
Yeah, I'd like to have our own entity. I mean, definitely. There's records out there that I think are definitely, you know, amazing records, and I would love to make a record that I felt personally could stand next to, you know, at least the quality of these records, you know, with, you know, from how they sound or just how excellent the songwriting is. And it's something that we continuously work on.
But I think it's already really good because you can hear all the nuances, the two drummers, you can really hear it's organic, and
we try.
I really like the sound. So,
we try.
and speaking of tours, what would be like a dream come true tour? With what bands would you?
My dream tour. Okay.
Like want to perform with, or what?
This
what
would never happen, but my dream tour would probably be, let's see, Pink Floyd is a headliner, Black Sabbath is direct support, with Ozzy singing, of course. Let's see, Neurosis before Sabbath.
And Kylesa.
I'll throw a few more bands on there. If it's
Okay.
my perfect show. You know, Fugazi on there would be great. And somewhere in all that lineup, Flaming Lips would be cool. I don't know how they'd fit on that, but that would be my dream lineup, I think.
I think I'd be there too.
Right on.
So what was the most important show of your career so far? What would you say?
Well, one of the most important shows, I mean, there's been a lot of important shows. Scion Fest in the U.S. turned out to be a real important show. It was one of the first bigger fests we got to play in the U.S., and a lot of people got turned on to our band because of it.
And it's all over YouTube too, I think. It's all over YouTube, the
Yeah.
videos and stuff.
They put us on the main stage, so we played in front of a lot of people, you know, over there. And that we noticed that helped because it shows people would come, you know, people came from all over for that. So when we were touring, people would be like, oh, I found out about you guys at Scion Fest. That was real important. I think another important one I actually missed, but the rest of the guys did a really good job, so it still helped us, was Hellfest. That was a big one for the band.
It's a real huge festival.
Yeah, I had passport problems and actually didn't make it to the first 3 shows of that tour, but they got up there and kicked butt, and it seemed to help a lot.
So your band name is derived from the Buddhist term Kylesa Mara, which means something like being a poisoned mind, having a poisoned mind.
Yeah.
Considering this poisoned mind, what influences or inspires your songwriting? What initiates the process?
Generally,
you just jam along, or?
Well, musically, it's all different ways. Everything from jamming to just people bringing in personal ideas they have. I mean, Laura, Carl, and myself, we are the major songwriters of a band. But everybody, you know, is welcome to bring their own ideas in as well. And there isn't a set way that we write. As far as like what we write about or what influences it, it's generally just what's going on in our lives.
Okay.
You know, try to write it in a way that, you know, we write, both Laura and I write lyrically kind of, strange a little bit. And sometimes it can be a little esoteric, but hopefully, you know, it's things that everyone is going to go through, you know, or understands. Or, you know, it's just life, just writing about life, you know, in a common way, in a way that, you know, almost anybody could relate to. I mean, we're all going to lose somebody that we care about at some point in time. You know, we're we're all gonna have struggles in our life that we have to overcome. You know, those kind of things.
So is it some sort of therapy for you too?
Oh,
in some ways.
Absolutely.
Okay. Cool. So are there any like younger bands, current bands that you would like recommend listening to that nobody knows of and stuff like that?
You know, it seems like as soon as I hear something I like, the way things work these days move so fast, everybody's heard of them a couple months later anyway. But I mean, Queller Talk, you know, blew me away on that tour we did with them. You know, I like the Cult of Karate a lot, who we're on tour with now. You know, I didn't really know those guys before this
France,
tour.
aren't they?
Huh?
They're from France.
Norway.
Norway.
Yeah,
you mean
both.
Kylesa are from Norway?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And the Cult of Karate, who we're on tour with now, they're from Norway too.
Oh, okay.
Boris is actually from France, one of the guys in the band. So. But yeah, I like both those bands a lot, and I mean, there's all kind of stuff.
Okay. So the last question already. What do you hate most about interviews?
I don't hate them at all. I'm actually very grateful that people are willing to take the time to talk to us and see what we have to say. I mean, I'm honored. So I really don't hate them at all. The hardest part is just finding time to do it sometimes. You know, as you've seen today, the schedule's just been real busy, and you know,
it worked out. So.
Yeah, it worked out, and I really appreciate your patience. The email ones, I much prefer in person.
Okay.
You know, my favorite kind of interviews to do are in person. And then if I had to go from there, phone interviews. I don't really like email interviews a lot.
Yeah,
you know,
some things just get lost.
Yeah, you don't go back and forth with somebody, and they take longer to do. And being like right now, I haven't had over 30 minutes on Wi-Fi since I've been over here. So I've got a whole bunch of stuff piled up. You know, people are like, where's our interview? Where's our interview? And it's like, I'm sorry, you know, I'll do my best. But even then, I'm still grateful that people are willing, you know, to give us space, you know, for our band. So I'm not complaining. I appreciate it all.
Okay, so thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
That's awesome.